So, here's my question for you. Questions. First question is, what's your favorite thing about working with me?
And that's a big list, Elle.
Sure.
Favorite thing about working with you? Well, I have to think about that.
Yeah, not such a big list after all.
No, it's
right.
so big, it's hard to narrow it down.
Okay, actually, let me change it. What's your favorite thing that we've worked on in the house so far? That you've had the most fun on?
Most fun.
Consistently.
Well, that's a big list, Elle. I'd have to think about that.
Off the top of your head.
Well, flooring's been fun.
True, actually. I think it's really satisfying because it just, you see the progress so obviously.
And the other one that's like that is roofing was real satisfying.
Yeah. Both of which are actually fun to do time lapses on for that reason.
Well, there's a lot of work getting all the old roofing off and prepping and stuff. And then when it was finally just putting that tin on,
Yeah.
that like just cruised.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we had a good group too, which, man, I wish I would have got it on film, but I forgot my camera that day. But yeah, it was so helpful to have everybody just put it up. I mean, we could have done it, but thankfully, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just...
Nice little encouragement.
Yeah, nice to have. It was at a hard point too, where I feel like we were at our weird...
Slow spot.
Yeah, our slow spot where we kind of had some of the inspection stuff we had to do, and it was motivational to get other people on board. Yeah, flooring's one of my favorite ones too, actually.
Yeah. You know, I didn't mind. I learned new stuff, so whenever I learn new stuff, I like it. So for that reason, all that PEX plumbing was brand new to me. I've never done it before, so I enjoyed that. And while I've done some electrical, I felt like this was kind of a challenge to try to figure what circuits to keep, what to upgrade. I know, just a lot of stuff that was just putting in the new panel and all that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I like that quite a bit.
All the innards are up to date now.
What else?
What's been the hardest thing? Like mentally, just like just trying to get through it.
I get stuck with different things, that the fireplace. I did the fireplace, the wood stove, and especially the exit for the stovepipe.
Yeah.
And trying to think through. There were so many there were so many
pieces to it. Oh, like how far out it had to be and where it had to be, and
yeah, there were a lot of constraints to work with, to try to work within. And I don't know, and it worked out pretty good. There was a lot of thinking that went on in my head before I got to it, and so that was the challenging part. Sometimes it just feels like work, and I don't know how to explain it, but
there's a lot of in your head work on that.
Yeah,
where
you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything.
Yeah,
you just feel like you're kind of rolling things over and over and over and over. And I did so much of that, and then when I finally did it, it kind of went pretty smooth. But part of that was because I'd done a lot of that work in my head. I probably didn't need to do as much as I'd done.
Right, sometimes you have to start to just do it.
Some place you just have to jump in, and then things happen. Either you'll come across something you didn't think of. It's like, dang it, I didn't think about that. Now what do I do? Or the other thing that can happen is like all of a sudden some magic happens. Like we had no idea when we roofed this exactly where the seams were going to line up. But there were several places, key places, where the seams of two panels came together. One of them was on
the vent,
the mast for the electrical.
Oh.
because you can't get it around. You get electrical wire going off, you can't get it around it. So being able to come in from both sides, like that was sweet. And then the same thing with the stovepipe here, being able to
just like cut it out,
so that you don't have two ridges. You know, there was just a single ridge in the middle. It was a lot easier to caulk and stuff. Anyway,
it's true.
I think things like that are some of the head work that went into designing this end wall.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could have had a major hurdle if they told, or a major bummer if they told us we had to take down the wall and take out windows or just do different things when they were, and then of course all he had us do was put those tiny brace things on there. I mean, it's a fiasco that we had to go through, but the engineer could have told us way more difficult things to do.
Well, and different engineers were ready to talk different ways about it.
Yeah.
I talked to 3 guys that had their engineering degrees, and all 3 of them
different ideas.
Had really different solutions and different ideas about how much work you'd have to do.
So interesting.
So, yeah.
Just goes to show it's not as straightforward as the codes people make it out to be.
Right.
All right, you ready to finish this last strip we're sitting on? And then maybe we can have lunch and we can make up our list of things we want to buy and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind trying to install that shower frame.
Do you want to put the strips in first? Because we have that saw in the back, don't we?
What strips?
The end strips. Downstairs.
Oh.
To finish up the floor so that then we can sand it next weekend and stuff. Well, actually, if we have a couple days this week, I don't know what your schedule is. Order of things, but
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll just go to that. That's not a bad idea.
just finish it off.
I don't mind that.
You think we're gonna have enough of those boards for trim if we don't have to use any downstairs?
Well, so for some trim, for sure. We have to look through them and decide where we want to put them. That end wall right there, if it's just 2x4, we cannot use that for all the surrounds and the trim and everything. Whatever's left over, we can't use it for the surrounds here because
Yeah, it's too wide.
they're too wide. But
Yeah.
we could use it for the outside trim. But there's a lot of that. And I don't think there's enough boards for that. So I just want to stay fairly consistent on the look.
Yeah, what you use.
I think we're going to do baseboard at both ends, but I'm not going to do baseboard along there. I'm just going to quarter round on the bottom where the floor meets.
Like that rounded stuff?
Not quarter round. Yeah.
Are you gonna do rounded on the bottom and then you'll go up a seam beside the beam and then you'll go over on the top?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, all right,
Ready?
let's do it. Let's do it.